Jester.
Hey, how's it going? Saw you guys nailed that 3-wire.
Hell yeah, we did. What about the others?
Elvis and Glory have just launched. Ghost and Pyro are scheduled in 30 mics. They're down in Ready Room 7 arguing about something stupid as usual. Alright, see you guys later.
Good luck. We'll be watching you on the plat.
Alright, g'day everyone, Platypilot here, and welcome to episode 1 of Fear the Bones, the F-14A Tomcat campaign by Reflex Simulations. I don't normally start my episodes on the deck like this, but I'm going to require a bit of concentration for this mission, so I figured I'd get the heavy lifting out of the way now. And besides, it's more pretty starting on the deck of a supercarrier than it is in a glorified parking lot.
Jaws, we don't have a whole lot of fuel to play with. It should be just enough for a quick lap. Don't worry, Chester, it's only Elvis and Glory up there. We should trap within 30 minutes top.
Thank you. Alright, just to set the stage of the campaign, it is 1989 and the USS Valley Forge has run into some sort of accident off the coast of the Soviet Union. The current belief is that it was attacked by a Soviet submarine or it ran into a fishing vessel. We're not sure which one it is yet. So the supercarrier USS Theodore Roosevelt has been sent to support the rescue operation with the fighter Squadron VF84 Jolly Rogers on board. And we are playing the role of callsign Jaws, and we've got our trusty Jester in the back there. And in preparation for providing cover for the recovery effort of the Valley Forge, we've been tasked with ordered to re-up our night qualifications for carrier ops. So for tonight's mission is going to involve getting thrown off the boat into the dark, flying along radial, getting into a Marshall stack, and then conducting a Case 3 recovery. That's all the bases covered, I think. In the meantime, we're just waiting for Jester to finish up aligning the jet, and that should be momentarily. Meantime, I'll get myself unplugged from the ground.
Chief, turn off the ground power. Chief, disconnect ground air supply.
Right. Chester's clacking away in the back. Don't have a lot of fuel for this, as I was mentioned, so we're going to have to be on the money for this.
We're ready to taxi.
Ready to taxi, thank you. Nosewheel steering. Parking brake off. Let's give the salute.
Takeoff checklist, brakes.
Give the brakes a tap once we get rolling.
Check okay, cumulative pressure up. Fuel. Normal feed, auto transfer, dump off, feed tanks full, bingo set. Canopy down, lights out. Lights out up here.
Wakey wakey, mate.
Seat arms, top and bottom, command eject aft. Time arm, top and bottom, showing MCO in the window.
Yep.
Staff. Home on.
Waiting for the tanker to get out of the way.
All circuit breakers set. All miners set. Master test. On. Buy die.
And away he goes.
Compass. Compass sync. Standby gyro erect. Wings.
Well, I'll get the wings out once we get stopped. Alright, wings coming out. And flaps down. And then he's going to tell me to kneel. Let's do that. Alright, he's telling me to roll forward so they can lock me in. Ah, auto, that's right. There we go.
20 degrees, auto, both lights out. Flaps and slats. Pull down. Spoilers and anti-skid. Spoiler module on, spoiler brake off. Trim. Set. Harness locked. Lights locked.
Right, we are clear to run up. Full afterburner because we're in the A model.
Controls. Here comes the wipeout. Left. Right. Forward. Feels good. All warning and caution lights out. Line R out. Ready to go?
Ready, let's go.
Ready.
See you guys in a bit.
Good
Good
shot.
shot. Alright, gear up. Collapse up.
Radar contact. Altimeter 299.
And add a burner.
201.
She really wants to climb. There we go. Spacebar to contact departure on button 7.
Departure Pontiac 3 airborne.
Alright, autopilot on.
Gear up, flaps up. Now climb straight ahead at 300 knots, crossing 5 nautical miles at 1500 AGL or above. At a distance of 7 nautical miles, start turning right to place yourself in a 10 nautical mile radius circle around the ship. Use TACAN to maintain the distance. Being the hotshot fighter jock that you are, you will be expected to follow Navy procedures throughout the campaign, and this is the first and the last time I'll tell you what to do. You can find a copy of the T-45 Carrier Ops Flight Instruction Manual in the documentation folder to refresh your memory.
Thanks, Reflected. So Reflected's going to chip in here and there, I think, as sort of like a helpful tutorial for the first mission, but for the rest of the campaign, it'll just be me. I need to sync my compass now that we're away from the carrier. Because I think the carrier is essentially just made out of magnets and it doesn't like compasses very much.
Departure Pontiac 3 arcing.
Start our arc.
Pontiac 3 departure, copy. Climb to Angels 8, depart on the 250. Pontiac 3, roger, departing radial 250, climbing to Angels 8.
Climb to 8,000 feet, flying along the 10 nautical mile arc around the ship, keeping it at your 3 o'clock position. Just before reaching the 250 radial, meaning when you're at 250 from the ship, turn left 90 degrees, then fly straight heading 250. This time, I will tell you when to initiate your turn.
Alright, so that triangle on the right there, that's pointing towards where the carrier is through the TACAN signal. And I need to keep that at 10 miles away from me as I fly around it. So I'm just going to fly a little bit away. Alright, that's 10 miles there. Turn in a bit. And put that on my right wing. And hopefully we can maintain that as we fly around it. And we also need to climb to 8,000 feet, so we should start that climb now. Fortunately, most of this episode is going to be looking at this exact view, because there's nothing to see out the windows. It is pitch black out there.
201, clear to switch.
It is pitch black tonight. So I can't even see the stars. So I'll be flying along around this radial until we can do a left turn onto the 250. Angels 4 there. Only caution light we got is bingo, because we have no fuel. We've got like, you know, just over 3,000 pounds. I don't know what the fudge factor is in real life for flying along a radial like this, but I imagine it's pretty tight, so I'm going to try and tighten that turn up a bit. Get us back on to 10 miles and not 10.5. There we go, we're closing the distance. Passing through 5,000 feet there. Being in cruise mode. I've been looking forward to this campaign for a long time. It took me a long time to get anywhere approaching comfortable in the Tomcat because it's my first naval jet. And, you know, a lot of things go hand in hand with that. Learning how to do case 1s, case 3s, all that kind of thing. I think I finally took me a long time to get somewhat proficient. Hopefully, I don't embarrass myself too much with this campaign, but like I say at the beginning of every campaign, this is the whole reason I play campaigns, to help improve and sort of put to the test the skills that I've been developing. Even just flying like this took me a long time to get used to, just with the head completely down and not looking at the horizon.
Friendly 2-ship, Bra 325.
Shush, Jester.
Angels 5.
I don't think we're going to need you, fam. Like, I don't have any weapons on board. I don't have any Phoenixes, no Sparrows, no Sidewinders, and I'm pretty sure I don't even have any gun ammo. So, if something does happen, there's not much I can do about it. That is Angels 8 there. So we'll just level out. Should be needing to turn left soon.
Slowly start turning left to a heading of 250.
I want to get onto the actual localizer before I really commit to that turn. Spacebar when established outbounds. Almost there. I think we may have started turning a little early, but I was just doing what Reflected told me. It was his idea. Right, that's good enough.
Departure, Pontiac 3 established outbound. Pontiac 3, departure. Roger, contact Marshall.
Marshall.
Pontiac 3 switching to Marshall.
Button 17. Spacebar.
Marshall, Pontiac 3, 250 for 15, Angels 8. Pontiac 3, case for your recovery, altimeter 2984. Marshall on 250, 24, Angels 9. Expected final bearing is 071. Expected approach time 10. Pontiac 3 copies altimeter 29.84. Marshall on the 250, 24, Angels 9. Expected approach time 10.
This means you need to climb to 9,000 feet and orbit 24 miles from the ship on the 250 radial in a 6-minute left-hand racetrack pattern at max conserved fuel flow, waiting for your turn to land. In the rest of the missions, all you need to do after leaving the carrier's airspace is to ask Jester to select the next waypoint, follow the bug on your VDI, and climb to your assigned altitude. If you do this, the events will unfold as they were meant to. This is a night qual, so there are no waypoints.
I hope that 29 is not a MiG-29. That's going to be a problem if it is. We are establishing the holding stack. Angels 9.
Pontiac 3 established, Angels 9. Now, look what the cat dragged in. You guys here to join the party? Elvis, Glory, how's it hanging? You know, big and hairy, hard to carry. According to the original plan, by now I should be in bed with a Greek hottie with permanent black hair. Yet here we are doing night quals in the middle of nowhere. Couldn't be better. Be realistic, dude. You would probably be in bed with the latest issue of Playboy magazine and a pack of Kleenex. Oh, shut up, Glory. Captain's orders. By tomorrow morning, the air wing has to be ready for whatever may happen. Bet we'll even see some Soviet planes up close. Amen to that, brother.
Sounds like we've got the gang of knuckleheads up here with us. In the meantime, we should probably make sure that we're all set to land. We'll put it on landing mode, hook down, switches to cold, and we have a good voice light. And I was on the 2-4. Oh, what the fuck? How have I lost that much speed? What? How? How? What? I'm confused. I'm really glad I caught that. About 150 is when you start to really start to notice big problems.
Pontiac 2, your signal is Charlie. Contact approach. Pontiac 2 commencing out of Angels 8, state 4.5, switching approach.
So that's our wingman going in. I think it'll be us next. So you can probably guess from the banter that we just heard that this isn't a fully serious one-to-one military simulation like some of our Reflected's other campaigns, like Speed and Angels and Zone 5 and the Red Flag one. There's going to be more of like a love letter to Top Gun, I think, with some cheesy 80s dialogue and some larger-than-life characters, so... But if you're like me and you grew up watching Top Gun 3 inches away from the TV screen, I think we'll be right at home here.
Each mission comes with special kneeboard pages. One with all the crucial information such as waypoints, altitudes, tasks, radio frequencies, TACAN, weather, and so on. Make sure you read it in order to ensure you complete the mission as planned. You are at the right altitude, tuned to the right radio channel, doing what you're supposed to do. There's another page with a map to help you visualize the flight plan, as well as a few pages of F-14A startup checklist. Detailed instructions are also given in each mission briefing.
Yep. That goes to say for any campaign, not just Reflecteds, but every premium campaign will have its own custom kneeboard pages like this that have been put together by the author. And also, there's almost always mission documentation within the game files. So make sure you always give them a read. You'll find some really good information in there.
Pontiac 3, your signal is Charlie. Contact approach.
Copy.
Pontiac 3, roger.
Alright, I'll get us turned around and we'll hit our departure point and we'll commence. Press spacebar to check in with approach on button 18. Do not use the built-in comms menu. Okay, Rog. So check in with approach, so I'll need to have commenced before I do that. K3 is one of those things where it's kind of complicated, but it's more just the fact that you need to know a lot up front and you need to do everything in order perfectly. Otherwise, it all falls apart. So we'll hit our departure point and we'll start at 4,000 feet per minute descent, and that will take us all the way down to 1,200 feet. Sorry, 5,000 feet for the platform, and then we'll slow our descent to 2,000 feet per minute, and that will take us all the way down to 1,200 feet, and that's where we'll stay. At 10 nautical miles from the ship, we will dirty up, we'll flaps down, gear down, DLC, all that good stuff. And then as we're getting closer, we'll hook up the autopilot to the data link of the carrier. And it should land us on the boat without plunging us into the ocean or smacking us into the back of the ship or making us bolter. Alright, that is our departure point there. Down we go. We are checking in.
Approach, Pontiac 3, checking in.
4,000 feet per minute descent.
Pontiac 3, final bearing is 071.
Establish a 4,000 feet per minute rate of descent at 250 knots.
The only thing about carriers is they have a tendency to move because the landing strip isn't a straight line up the boat, it's actually off to the side.
When you reach the platform, that is 5,000 feet, reduce your rate of descent to 2,000 feet per minute, then maintain an altitude of 1,200 feet.
Alright, so that's platform there. Normally, if we were using the menu, we'd call platform to approach. But we were told not to use it, so I'm not going to. So 2,000 feet per minute, and that's going to take us all the way down to 1,200 feet. We should be getting radar contact with approach as well, and he'll give us bullseye so we can start getting ourselves onto the glide slope in the localizer instead of just using the TACAN. And speed's at 250, so let's just bump up the throttle and make sure we maintain that. We don't have a repeat of earlier. Passing through 2,500. That's Angels 2. Easing that up so we don't overshoot. Right there. Autopilot, please. Alright, 11 miles. We got 1 mile to have a break, and then we'll dirty up. I should have gotten bullseye by now. I don't know what's going on there. We've got voice light, so data link is definitely active. Alright, that's 10 miles. Let's dirty up.
You're at 10 miles. Time to dirty up. Also, reduce your speed to cross 6 DME at 150 knots.
Oh. Come on. Alright, we lost a lot of altitude there. I just feel like my fucking flight surfaces were not moving. Alright. What's going on? What is happening? Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright, so I over-trimmed it, I think, is what's the problem is. And I've lost 600 feet of altitude.
Outback, wave off. 99 aircraft, return to your assigned altitudes in the Marshall stack. Pontiac 2's right gate collapsed on landing. Your signal is maxed and served. Pontiac 3, roger, switching to Marshall.
Alright, that was very confusing. I think I over-trimmed it, so it didn't matter how much I was holding up trim. I'd gone past what it wanted to do. Need to give it some more gas, otherwise I'm not going to get out of here. Now I'm ferociously up-trimmed. Alright, so it seems like our wingman's had himself an incident. And he is fouled up the deck, which is a problem.
In most missions, you will be given the option to tune into the radio. You will hear a sound and get a message when it becomes available. This is meant to help pass the time during uneventful parts of the mission, and also to help you get that late 80s feeling. To further increase immersion, I created a Spotify playlist with my favorite 80s songs. It will surely put you in the right mood for this campaign. You can access it through the link in the main campaign documentation PDF. Now press the radio button and select the F10 menu to tune into the radio. You can stop it anytime you wish using the same menu.
Thanks, Reflected. So I need to get back up to, it was 9,000 feet, I think, was the Marshall stack. And tune into the radio. It might be copyrighted, so we'll see how we go.
Sort of took off as a caricature of New York. I mean, when you look at New York, it has a very strong kind of 30s or 40s feel, even though you look at it today, it still has that feel. But then you get, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s influences, and really just throwing everything, just really make the mix of styles everything. And I like to do that anyway, keep everything a bit off balance.
Alright, so I have a feeling that music's probably copyrighted, but nice little narrative tidbit to get us in the mood for 1989. Some late night talk show. Yeah, I think what went wrong there is I over-trimmed up, and then it didn't matter what I did with the throttle, it wasn't going to let me get onto my on speed, so I need to make sure I don't do that again. The most complicated part of the of landing this thing is getting it on speed. A science as much as it is an art. But yeah, we are low on fuel, so I really hope that this problem doesn't last too long. We are very low on fuel. This is not good. All right, I'm back on the localizer. That'll take me out to where we need to be. The 9,000 feet, 24 miles from the boat, where we need to be. Alright, that is 9,000 feet. We are coming up on our departure point as well. Right, we are established in the stack.
Hitting jaws, we're running on fumes. This won't be enough for a second pass if we bolter.
Yeah, you're telling me. 1,600 pounds, that's not much. Ask for updates, button 17. Copy.
Marshall, Pontiac 3, any updates? Negative, we're working on the situation. Pontiac 2 is being hooked up to Tilly. Continue holding.
The storyline of this campaign is not linear. Sometimes it will be up to you to decide how to proceed. You will hear a sound and see a message to indicate that your action or decision is required. There's no right or wrong. Either choices can lead to success or failure. Now press the radio button and select the F10 menu to decide what to reply to Marshall.
Okay, F10. Continue holding or request direct to tanker. I'm not going to try refueling by night.
Pontiac 3, Wilco.
We'll continue holding. I can refuel this thing. Just I've never tried it at night, and I'm not about to try it right now. I feel like by the time I find myself a tanker and get behind it and actually plug, I'm probably going to run out of fuel anyway. Yeah, 1,500 pounds, that's not much. Not much at all. That's basically nothing. I'm pretty sure from memory at 500 pounds, the fuel gauge just basically becomes unserviceable. And you just have to guess how much fuel you have when you're under 500 pounds. Oops, I need to be turning the other way. Make sure that we're still good to go. Hook is down, switches are still cold, and we still have the data link, so we are ready to go. Just
1X3, the deck is clear. You may Charlie now.
I wish you'd told me 20 seconds ago when I was lined up.
Pontiac 3, commencing out of Angels 9.
And now use the built-in menu to talk to Mother.
Marshall 201, marking moms 260422, Angels 8.5, State 1.5.
201, Rough Rider Marshall, Case 3 recovery, CD1 approach, expect final bearing, 71, altimeter is 29.85, 201, Marshall Mothers, 251, radio, 22, DME Angels, 7, expected approach time is 25.
201, Marshall on the 251, 22, DME Angels 7, expected approach time is 25.
Alright, it's giving me something slightly different. I'm not going to bother fixing that, because I don't have time and I don't have fuel. I'm just going to say I'm established,
Angels,
and I'm going to stick with my departure of 24, Angels 9. I think they can excuse the fact that I've got such a low state, and I'm just going to kind of wing it. Out there.
Don't fuck it up, man.
Thanks, fam. And we will start our 4,000 feet per minute descent. Commencing.
201, commencing, State 1.4, altimeter 29.85.
201, radar contact, 23 miles, expect final bearing, 71.
201.
Alright, ignore that. I nearly went down to
201, switch approach.
201.
approach. Button 18. Check in with approach.
201, checking in, 21 miles.
201, approach, final bearing, 71.
201.
Coming up on platform, and I'll declare platform at 5,000 feet and slow down to 2,000 feet per minute.
201, platform.
201, roger.
Right, speed's coming down. Let's bump it up a little bit. We want 250. Don't want a repeat of earlier. I'd really like bullseye information sometime soon, guys. Alright, that's 1,500. I'm going to slow down a little bit so we can level off. That's 1,200 feet with no problems. Level off there. Alright, we've got 2 miles to have a break, and then we can start thinking about getting ourselves dirtied up. Just trying to get back on this friggin' localizer. It's not being nice about it.
201.
Bullseye!
201.
Thank you, Bullseye. That's really freaky, just seeing lights flying past the cockpit. I'll try and get on the localizer, and then I'll dirty up. It's 10 miles there. I just want to get myself on the localizer. Alright. Let's dirty up. Flaps down, gear down, speed brake on. DLC.
201. Final radar contact. 8 miles. 201.
Alright, that was a little better.
Wings are 20 auto, gears down, SAS on, flaps full, DLC engaged and checked, hook down, harness locked, speed brakes out, spoiler brakes off, fuel checked.
Yeah, fuel checked is low.
ECLS lock on. 6 miles. St. Needles.
Yeah, up and on.
201. Up and on. 201. Concur. Fly mode 2.
I've over trimmed it again. And it's just not behaving. It doesn't want to fucking... doesn't want to do what it's told.
Approaching glide path.
Well, I'm way too high, but I'm going to lock that in there. Yeah, I ballooned up to like 1,500 feet then. Like, I think it's because the jet's so light that it's the trim, my usual trim, like, memory is not, it's just not working. We've just got no fuel, got under 1,000 pounds of fuel. We've got no stores, no nothing. The jet could not be any lighter than it is. Alright, wrong glide slope. So right now the jet's hooked up to the data link of the carrier, and that's actually steering the jet for me. I'm still in control of the throttle, because I've never had the auto throttle work, ever. It has always crashed me wildly off course, and I don't know why, so I don't trust it. And now the jet's trying to fight me. It's glide slope there, come on. Locked on that meatball, it's just my angle of attack's completely messed up. But again, I reckon that because the jet's so light, it's not calibrated properly. As long as I stay on the glide slope, get that meatball in the right spot, we should be fine. Pull the ball.
201, Tomcat ball, 0.9.
Roger ball, 27 knots, down the angle. Fly the ball.
Flying the ball.
You're a little slow.
I'm just ignoring my angle of attack. I'm just sticking with the meatball. Full power. Hey, we got a wire. 4 wire. Alright. That was messy, but we made it work. Automatically moved to parking.
Okay, Jester, let's shut down the jet and the sec. Tomorrow we're gonna have an early start.
When you hear this sound, it means the mission has been successfully completed and it's now safe to quit and move on to the next one. In most missions, this doesn't happen after landing, but before flying back to the carrier. If you quit right away, you don't lose any points, but you may miss out on some fun events. It's up to you, but why not make the most out of something you've already paid for? This concludes the intro mission. If anything is unclear or you get stuck, contact me on the forums or on Facebook. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Have fun and good luck. You'll be needing it.
Right, so that's the end of that mission. Hooray! I felt super messy, but again, I think I'm not used to a jet that only has that much fuel in it. So it felt like the angle of attack that it wanted wasn't what I needed to make it work. So I was just kind of fighting it and second guessing myself. I ended up just choosing the meatball and the glide slope over the angle of attack, and then it worked out fine. So yeah, confidence a little shaken, but I'm hoping that's the case and I just haven't completely botched it. But yeah, that's the end of the mission. I realized it probably wasn't the most action-packed thing ever of watching a Case 3. I was probably staring at the instruments the whole time, but the rest of the campaign should be a bit more interesting. We're definitely going to be seeing a bit of combat here and there, so looking forward to that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring all the bells, and I hope to see you in the next one. Catch you around.